You hit the both of them, right? To
Here
go.
we go.
Yep. Now we're live. I just got the notification onto it.
Yeah, we got it.
All right. Now we are live. Hey, everybody. It's Thursday night, and you know what we do right here on this channel. But tonight we're on Yeti's channel. Welcome, everybody. Thank you for joining us. Before we get going here, I want to say hello to a few people out there in the chat. We have Captain Fantastic. What's going on? KBN Productions. We got Moose Knuckle out there. Vaping with Nikki B. Love you, mama. You're not holding our balls tonight. I still love you anyways. Wes Cochran, you enjoying all those wins that you got out there? Let me get that. What's going on there, brother man? Black Cat White Face, what's going on? I missed
What's up, Scott?
today, but I will catch the replay when I get to see him out there. All Day Vape, C4 Endgame. I got some coils coming from him too. I can't wait to get my hands onto those. We got the Juice Reviewer out there, Kevin Bako. Anybody else I might have forgotten? Raven Shadow Vapes. I promise I'll get to you. Carrie M. Thank you everybody for joining us. Why don't we say hello to our guest and my co-host here? And tonight we're going to say hello to the Meter Vapes and welcome Meter Vapes. Thank you for joining us tonight, man. I appreciate it.
Absolutely. Thanks for having me, gentlemen.
Absolutely. We'll get you under the knife there in a few minutes there. And we have my co-host yetisuncle, and tonight we are broadcasting off in Yetizuncle's channel. So again, thank you very much, man.
Keep your fingers crossed, guys.
Hell yeah. We got this shit, man. We got it.
Hell yeah, it's good to be here, man.
Hell yeah, it is.
Yeah, I wanted to thank y'all for coming out and hanging out with us tonight. I think this is going to be a fun one.
I do too.
Anybody showed up?
We got a lot of people out there showing a lot of love out there in the chat, so that's really cool.
Yeah.
We got Leafa Vapes out there. We also have Dr. D TMI, Slim Sampy. What's going on there, Slim? Who else? If I missed anybody, I will get back to you. So why don't we get the festivities underway, and why don't you, Meter, tell us what you are vaping on?
So I've got a small plethora, only a couple of things at the moment. My standard go-to, I've got a tank, RDTA, I guess it would, as it were, of a little bit of Purple Heathen from Vape and Swag. I've still got my VP project here full of this damn Merry Minty Mocha from Swag that I did a review on. I just can't stop fucking vaping it. My favorite, my all-time favorite, I know Yeti knows what I'm talking about. I gotta have something going at all times with Strawberry Submission.
Hell yeah.
Hell yeah.
Highly, highly dosed with CBD. But then I'm in the process of vaping the darker side of the Jekyll and Hyde line. It's a collaboration line from PBJ Bros and Simply E-Juice. And so far,
nice.
I'm happy.
Hell yeah. All right, well, I'll go over with what I got, and then Yeti, you can tell us what you got there just to get the festivities underway there. I'm short and simple tonight. I got some Adore, Lemon Ecstasy. Love you, Don. We got some this one.
Oh, yeah.
My all-time favorite custard. But and I don't want to give it out, but the best custard got really better with the reserve.
Oh,
this is some hellified, man. I like that. It's got like a little creme brulee touch into there.
You prefer the reserve to the regular this one?
I wouldn't kick either one of them out of bed. I think the reserve is a little bit more pronounced because it is steeped a little bit longer and everything, but like I said, it's got that little bit of edge of the creme brulee with it.
Mm-hmm.
So I like that little bit of extra flavor that it does do into there. And it might be because of the steeping, or he's added a little something to it, like a creme brulee.
Yeah.
But I'm getting that note in that one.
Oh, yeah.
Also, what I'm vaping on is some of this. You got E-Juice Southern Bread Pudding.
Pudding.
Right behind me. I'm cracking into that when I finish these guys right here.
I really enjoyed this one here. The other one is the egg tart. I don't know if you got that one, the egg tart custard.
I think I got that one as well.
I like that one too. It's got that, but I noticed there's like a banana note in that, but that's just might be me. But just to finish off, I got some staple Omegaddon e-liquid. Tarantella. Good shit right there, man. And last but not least, I got in my Armageddon Squonker. This is a clone, but it still fucking rocks. Some Sinful Apple Roll from Adore E-Liquid. Again, love you, Don. So why don't we swing it right on over to Yeti's uncle? Why don't you tell us what you're rocking on there tonight, brother man?
Oh, nothing much. I mean, Adore, of course. I'm Pure Peach and what is this? That thing, the Triple X stack. It's in the way now. Of course, my Dreamer mod. Never leave home without this motherfucker. Some Triple X from Chain Vapes. And something else from Chain Vapes. This is their new, well, it's not really, I don't guess it's new now. Their Sunset Sherbet. It's kind of interesting. It's all the sherbets, it's just like a mixture of sherbet flavors, but without the ice cream note.
Oh, nice.
If you see what I'm saying. So it's basically just a straight citrus.
Right.
It's like, yeah, just good. Like if somebody was to say, what's the profile, I would say citrus. I mean, that's about the only way you could describe it. It's
kind of like a fruity Sunny D or something.
As with lime.
Okay.
And it's not that nasty pledge. Other than that, that's about it. That and what's up, Stan, and what's up, Scott?
Yes, absolutely. We also have Ready to Mosh out there, Kev W, Nate 38. We got Hesh out there. What's going on there, brother man? So great. And Gizzard Stew. Who the hell is Gizzard Stew?
Oh,
Gizzard Stew.
He's some guy.
Just some guy.
Some guy.
So why don't we get the festivities underway? Meter, why don't you tell us a little bit of something about yourself there, Rob? Were you a heavy smoker before you actually got into vaping? Because I know you vape zero nicotine, but, were you
So it may seem a little bit counterintuitive, but for 25 years, I smoked between 2.5 and 3 packs of Camel Wide menthols a day while working in 9-to-5 office job.
Damn.
I smoked like a freight train. If there was a time where I wasn't chained to my desk, I was outside and I was smoking. And if I wasn't at work, I was sitting in my living room with an ashtray in one hand and a fresh pack in the other, just waiting to go. I always had a cigarette. It drives me nuts looking back at old pictures now because you can't find me in anything without a cigarette either hanging out of my mouth or in one of my hands.
And we also have Saturation Station out there also. What's going on there, Tim?
What's up, Tim? Damn it.
What is Daytime Frank's talking about there? Did you see what Daytime Frank said?
See, the same disclaimer that we tried to give him last night on TJ's show. We warned you guys it was going to happen.
So did you, when you switched over from smoking to vaping, were you using nicotine at that time and bring yourself down?
So I originally started vaping in the pre-Cigalite craze days, late 90s, early 2000s, when literally everything looked like the old school one-hitter doobie tubes. Yep. Like there was no detachable batteries like the fancy Cigalites these kids today get to use. It was those all-in-one disposable monster things that looked like the 100s, and those are the ones that you heard about in the early days that used to blow up.
Yep.
I hopped on those back in those days because I figured, anything that's going to make me smoke less of these fucking cigarettes that I just can't stop has got to be a good thing. But I kind of used it more as a crutch than anything because I got away working indoors with using those Cigalites inside.
Yep.
So I dual used for almost 10 years because at that point I became an affiliate for Blue E-Cigs and I was selling to all my buddies in the call centers. I had call centers just off the chart going through blue packs like there was no tomorrow and life was good, but I was packs of cigarettes a day and rocking that damn blue everywhere I walked indoors. So it really wasn't until a couple of years ago when I finally found vaping on YouTube that was, legitimate people doing reviews on actual products that you might want to purchase and use. And I found a Canadian fella named Dan the Vape Man, and he did a review for the Kanger Subbox Mini. And something about the way that he showed that setup, a light went above my head and a switch clicked. It might have just been like a popping in my ear, but something just like all of a sudden was like, I have to have one of those. Fuck these cigarettes. And literally that mod showed up on my wedding day 2 years ago, and I haven't touched a cigarette since.
Awesome.
Wow.
That is really awesome.
Hell yeah.
We have a few more people that popped in out there. We got John Carlo. Welcome, buddy. Thank you for joining us, man. And we also have Tony Asasio. And I hope I chew that name up every time I see that. And I really don't mean to, man. And he is my friend even on Facebook, and I still tear that name up. I don't know why. But anyways, so I think I already know this answer, but what is your opinion on authentic and clone?
Oh, damn you, Tommy.
Sorry, man.
Let me take a quick head count here. So of the 5-6 mods sitting in front of me right now, one of them is authentic. And regulated, because the regulated mods are the only ones that I really care to make sure that I own the authentic of when it comes to authentics versus clones.
Mm-hmm.
It's just one of those things. I feel that if a company puts that much work into their chip and their proprietary software, I'll give them the benefit of the doubt. But when you talk about a metal tube that completes a circuit by making a contact point to a battery on two ends, there's not a lot of rocket science or proprietary technology in them. Granted, you still have to do your homework. Not all clones are created equal. Hashtag all clones. But every single RDA I have in the arsenal that I am using at the moment, all 6 of them are all clones, and all 6 of them I have used the authentics of and still don't mind the clones because they work just as good on these particular 6 that I have.
Yep. And I agree with you on that, and I've talked about it many times. I have no problem. I'm not saying that I encourage people to go out and get clones.
Absolutely.
But because I like to take things apart, and anything that I have that is mechanical, I want to be able to pull it apart. I don't want to have to go out and spend $100, $150 to something that I already know I'm going to pull apart and possibly break.
Yep.
So I'd rather get the clone, see if I like how that works. And if it's, if they say it's a 1-to-1 and I could take it apart and put it back together and it works just as well, then I have many mods that I have the clone with the authentic. Absolutely.
I bought this RDA, the Free Project VP.
Yep.
This, in my opinion, is the most slept on RDA of 2017. This is the single easiest RDA I have ever built on. It's squonkable, it's postless, and it has the most unique deck design I have ever seen. It is almost the shape of a house. Like when you're in kindergarten and you drew a house, the square with a pointy roof.
Yeah.
That's the shape of the deck. Flat head post screws, one from either side, peak insulator in the center. Dual openings on the roof of the house on either side. So you can use it for dual or single coil. Squonkable 25 millimeter. This thing is a dream. I've thrown everything and the kitchen sink at it, and it's beautifully.
Nice.
Oh, yeah.
Now, are you a single coiler or dual coil more of one or the other, or you have certain devices that are just set up certain ways?
It's more of a device situation for me. I literally have a 50-50 split in front of me right now. All 3 that I'm doing the reviews on, all 3 of them are dual coil goons with Staggertons. All 3 of the others of my recreational vaping at the moment are all 3 single coils, but they're all massive single coils. One's a parallel, one is literally a 5.5 millimeter inner diameter alien from Miles of Wire. That thing it's a beast. It's rowdy.
Yeah, I had some coils from Miles, and they do kick ass, man. They're real good.
Hell yeah, that man knows what he's doing.
Yes, he does. Excuse me. Captain Fantastic sausage does it smell like shame and lube? It could. Hey, Bones of Skater, what's going on there, brother? So, it was something it just escaped me, but it was to do with the RDAs. Not RDAs, your recreational. Now, you do a lot of CBD.
Quite a bit.
And CBD, well, everybody knows there's no anything it's going to do for head-wise, but it's good for, aches and pains and other reasons.
Absolutely. It's all the body, none of the brain.
Yep. Now, I've had a couple different vendors hit me up on Kratom. I'm not a fan of Kratom. I just don't like what it does. I've tried it, and every time I do, I get really tired from it, and I wake up, and I feel like I need 10 hours more sleep from it, where CBD does not give me that effect. Have you had have you ever tried any Kratom, and what is the effects onto you? Because I'm just curious, because there's a lot of people that do ask.
Absolutely. So I literally within the last week had just gotten my first order of Kratom, and I didn't even get it for me. My wife was in a car accident about 15 years ago, and it tortured her back. It was one of those, she was young, she was in a hurry to get the accident over with, get the paperwork finished. She settled way before she should have, and now she's got the results to deal with back problems later in life.
Yep.
We're not pharmaceutical people, clearly. We're not big corporate people. I don't even like taking ibuprofen if I got a headache. So she naturally is already on the CBD quite a bit to help regulate. But CBD for people who are out and about on a daily life isn't always the most convenient thing. So aside from giving her, I've got her CBD edibles, I've got her CBD tincture. She's got all of that. But just to explore other natural avenues, we got, I think, 4 or 5 different kinds of Kratom that I'm going to try first, measure the effect ratio for me versus CBD, and then in turn adjust dosage and let her try and see how that works out. So I am going down that path slowly but surely, cautiously, under the advice and consent of several others that I know that do use it on a regular basis, and lots of research.
Yep. I know Ready to Mosh is a big fan of Kratom. I know he's used it. Go ahead, Yeti.
No, finish your thought.
No, I just saying that I know he prefers. I mean, I know he buys it right where he lives, but I mean he prefers the Kratom over the CBD from what I've taken from him, from the way I've heard him saying how much he enjoys the Kratom better. But like I said, for me, I don't know. It just does something to me. And I don't know, maybe because of other things in my other medication that I do have to take, it might counter-react where CBD doesn't.
Right.
So I just wanted to bring that out to, have other people know that there is other options, but there is also downsides to other options also. So.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
I use CBD as well. And I've tried Kratom, and honestly, I've had absolutely nothing positive from the Kratom. I was told that it was the right, because there's a bunch of strains of Kratom. There's all different kinds of strains. You got to make sure you get the right one. I was told that I got the right one, and I didn't have any luck with it. But as far as CBD goes, that's almost for me and my wife. It's almost like a wonder drug, or it's not, I don't want to say drug. I hate to use that term, but it's because with the medicine that I'm on, I can't take anything else. There's nothing else that I can take. There's nothing. The only thing stronger than what I'm on is fentanyl, and you can't get fentanyl. Well, you can, but but like for when I have like really bad days or when I'm really flared up, I'll take a couple puffs of, like 1,000 milligrams CBD, about 3 puffs. I'm good to go. Or if I'm really flared up, I'll just put a drop under my tongue. I'm good.
Yep.
And I don't have to worry about drug tests or anything. I mean, honestly, for what it is, it's a miracle. it's a miracle cure, and it helps my wife with her fibro. She's got really bad fibromyalgia, and she's also got oh shit, arthritis. What's that arthritis?
Rheumatoid.
Huh?
Rheumatoid.
Yeah, rheumatism. She's got rheumatism real bad, and it just loosens her right up. Yep. So, I mean, for anybody that's curious, I would seriously suggest giving it a try. Yep. Seriously, it doesn't taste all that great, but the benefits.
That was one of my wife's biggest complaints as well, is that it tastes real earthy.
Yeah.
Not to specifically give a plug, I have done reviews for them, but I will say the one company that I have gone back to for her specifically, Awesome CBD, makes a 60 milligram square, and I guess now they're making 120s and like 150s, but they're literally the size of your pinky head squares of gummies that taste just fucking like Lifesavers candy.
Nice.
Interesting.
Like, you can't taste the CBD in them at all, and within 10 minutes or so of chewing up one of them little candies, you know the relief that slowly starts to wash over, and you can feel it starting to work.
Wow.
Nice.
I might have to check into that.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I'm not a fan of the taste.
It's got a funk to it.
Now, you said you use 1,000 milligrams, Yeti, on your CBD?
Yeah.
See, I like in here, I have this mixed with some strawberry, but I only run 250, but I vape on this all day long while I'm at work. So this way here, I can vape all day long right while I'm working, which is awesome.
Yeah. See, that's the thing. I've had the 500 milligram. When we first got it, we started out with 250. Yep. It didn't help either one of us. So I got 500, and I could get a little bit of relief, but I'd have to sit there and just chain vape it, and like I said, it's not the greatest tasting. We get Koi, but that's just what I'm familiar with is Koi.
Yep.
Yeah. And then at the last vape show, the one in Dallas, Koi was running a special. They were there and they were running a special, 1,000 milligram for $50. So it's like half price. So I was like, I'll give it here.
Yeah.
And we still have some from Dallas. I mean, we're still sitting good on CBD because, like I said, 3 puffs and you're good for several hours, And I don't have to hit it daily. I don't have to, constantly hit it. It's only when I'm in a real bad flare that I even bother using it.
Mm-hmm.
But like, when I was on the 500, I had to sit there and vape it all day long, and it, that wasn't going to work because that shit's too expensive.
Yep. Well, fortunately, I mean, I have a couple people that I get a good hookup onto my CBD for my own personal use. So, but like I said, and I use the 250, but I mean, this is my device for that all day long while I'm at work, and I just all day long.
Same here. My strawberry submission, I usually mix it between 100 to 150 milligrams per 30 mil bottle.
Yep.
But I vape on it all day long. This goes up with me to the office. It comes back downstairs with me. This goes with me all day.
Yeah, and I just use it as a maintenance, nothing more than that.
That's what I was going to say. But this is my keep level. I dab CBD isolate. I also do CBD tincture, and then there's some gummies as well. So, I keep myself fairly well elevated in the CBD range because I, like Yeti was saying, I have the beginning stages of rheumatoid arthritis, so I have bad wrists, bad knuckles. I was also very stupid when I was younger, and I used to box brick walls a lot, so that's bite me in the ass a little bit as I've started to get older. So the CBD is relief that I can literally take a couple pulls when I first wake up and watch my hands unlock and start to open. And it's amazing.
Before I get into the next thing, I just want to mention we got 57 people watching, but I only see 25 likes. I think we should all give Yeti some love there and give him a thumbs up. Even share it. That would be really awesome also.
I was going to say, two platforms. Everybody got to step their game up a little bit.
Hell yeah.
I want to address something just real quick since we're talking about it. Black Cat, White Face. That's fun to say fast. There's absolutely no head rush, no head change. You get no psychoactive effects, none at all. It doesn't do anything to your brain or your mind.
Right.
I mean, for people that want to get high, I mean, you might as well just smoke weed. But no, you get it, and you'll piss clean if you're worried about a piss test. It doesn't show up in your UAs. So I mean, that's what I'm saying when I was saying it's kind of like a perfect, medication.
No, the chemical that they do drug tests for is THC, and CBD is a naturally opposing chemical in the cannabis plant. There's two chemicals in cannabis. It's THC, which is what affects you mentally, and then CBD, which is there naturally to counteract the THC. It's all the body effect. So when they separate the two, they literally separate the two. They extract all the THC away, and all you get is that CBD. So there's nothing to be tested for. You're 100% good at your CBD and need to pass a drug test. The long is all you're doing is that CBD.
Yeah.
And right, as long as you're on. But I know, like, even about a year and a half ago, when CBD was first being really introduced into the vaping industry, there was some companies that did have THC in with their CBD. It wasn't clean, and people were failing, and it kind of gave it a bad.
Right.
I was just reading something that caught my eye, but that is where it kind of give that stigma to it that, it's going to give you a head high. It's not going to give you any kind of head high whatsoever. It's just going to give you relief of pain. I know, like, Hesh is out there. He suffers from Crohn's like I do. We also have the, what is it? The bowel syndrome, whatever that is.
IBS.
IBS, and also for anxiety. I have a medical prescription for marijuana for those, but throughout the day, while I'm at work, I don't want no head high. That's why I use the CBD just to help maintain throughout the day, so I don't have the pain.
Yeah, that's good.
Hey, we got Owen Ginter out there in the chat. Holy cow, there's a blast from the past.
What's up, stranger?
I thought he had fallen off the face of the planet, and sure enough, there he shows up. Look at that.
Hell yeah.
Going Inter, still around. Good to see you, brother.
So again, I would recommend anybody that is looking, go to where Koi is a good place to get a very good CBD. And what was the name of the place that you said you get yours from there, Meter?
Awesome CBD is one of the main ones that I get my vape additives through.
Awesome.
Cool. Yeah, that's what he said. Awesome.
Far out, man.
Oh God, not again.
No, I'm just kidding. Yes, Miles, I do have a prescription for mine. Yes, I do. So let's see here. So what got you into going into doing reviews? Is it just watching? I don't want to bait you into it. So what got you into doing reviews for your channel?
Basically, it was a matter of trying to do unto others. Like, I was literally able to get off cigarettes, and I'm one of those. I'm a preacher. I'm a fucking vape preacher, and I bear no bones about it. They fucking hated me when I worked in the office because I would go out on every fucking smoke break and I would hand out my fucking Rock by Boulder to other people that were smoking to try it while I was vaping on a fucking mech mod in the other. And I would give them the holy fucking gospel of how much fucking better I feel every morning when I wake up. I'm that fucking guy, and I give no shits about it. So what happened was, like I was saying earlier, that Dan the vape guy, when I saw that one video and it was enough to get that fucking click to go in my head, I figured the least I can do is try and turn back around, because if that one dude caught me, maybe I can catch one more person. Yeah. And if I can catch one person, maybe they can catch one person. And if that chain trickles, everybody feels better in the long run. Absolutely. I read an article the other day, even Marlboro's getting out of the cigarette game. Philip Morris is selling their tobacco stock off.
Yep.
The writing's on the fucking wall. If I can help somebody see it, by all means, I'll be happy to.
Yep.
Yeah. Good on you, man. That's awesome.
It really is. Yeah, to touch on to that also with the Philip Morris, and I think a lot of it is because they're trying to get out of the cigarettes, but they're going to try to push in that IQOS system that they have, where it's the burn, not vapor, not burn, or whatever it is. However, they take
combustionless.
Yeah. But that right there is still something that is still going to make people fail because you're still using real tobacco.
Tobacco.
Yeah.
Yep.
So,
well, my thing with that, and I got to admit, I don't know the science 100%, but it seems like to me, if you're using that, because I know how it works, is you put the thing, it's like a cigarette. You put a cigarette in and it heats it up, but not to the point of combustion,
Yep.
But to me, are you not still getting all the rat poisons and all the antifreeze and all the bullshit that's in regular cigarette tobacco? I mean, are you not still ingesting that?
Right. Those 5,000 chemicals that they're putting into that to make that tobacco taste like that. Their tobacco, they use a certain recipe with all the bleaches and ammonia and all that. So you're still going to be taking that into your body.
So what are you eliminating? The only thing you're eliminating is the fire.
Right.
What's the fucking putting all this shit in you? You might as well just smoke it.
Exactly.
Because they can charge you as much for that little fucking device as they could for a pack of cigarettes.
It just seems stupid to me. I don't know. I'm such a negative pessimist, I guess. I don't know. Just start vaping. It's so much easier.
It really is, and it's so much cleaner because in effect, what they're doing is they're still getting, like you said, they're getting all those chemicals. So people will feel good about themselves and say, "Hey, I'm vaping. I'm not smoking." But they're still sucking in all those chemicals. So they're still going to get all the effects of being sick all the time like they were when they were smoking.
You're still going to smell like it. And not to mention, it's not vaping because you don't have liquid. You're heating up a cigarette at a high temperature. It's just not to the point of combustion.
Right.
I have thought, though, I have a sneaky suspicion that if they put enough of a push behind those and at least get people to make somewhat of a transition towards those will be the easiest fucking converts vapor preacher like me will ever fucking have. Because when you tell me about how you still hate those little fucking machines that still say Marlboro or Philip Morris on the side of them, don't get that itch for you. And I hand you my Rock by Boulder with an 18 milligram Nick salt liquid in that. Oh, you wanted a strawberry? I've got one of those over here too. Let me switch real quick. Oh, you see how easy that was? Oh yeah, look, and it's USB on the end. You can plug it right in your fucking computer. Here, go ahead, take a pull off that. You like that? Oh, just go ahead and take that. Go home with it.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Done. I got you off.
Yeah.
Yep.
Exactly.
You're done. It's that easy. And I'm that guy. I've got Rock by Boulders here. I order them every couple months. I order a couple more. I give them out like I'm preaching.
Yep. That's awesome, man.
I think those Marlboro things might make it easier for us to steal smokers away.
Yep. As long as they don't cut us off out of that, I think what you are exactly right. I think that will be a better transition than from someone that is trying to use like a blue or what any of those other devices. I think you are right that it will help them transition over as long as they keep us in that loop and they don't, take us out.
I don't know. The only thing that I could see potentially negative about it would be that, and this is only if it got on, and it was like really popular or something, is if people actually started calling it vaping, and thinking that what they're, using that iOS, whatever that fucking thing's called, considered it vaping. So every time, they say that they're vaping, they're using that thing, which is not, and it's not vaping, so which would give vaping, you still wouldn't be separating tobacco from vaping, which I think there should be a separation.
Yes.
Myself.
That opens the conversation though.
Right.
Because they're that inadvertently will cause more of these IO whatever users to fight against the normal tobacco smokers to try and themselves. And even without realizing it, that's a vote in our favor.
Yep.
Right.
They're distancing themselves for all the bullshit they see getting strung along with all the tobacco users. Yeah. So that inadvertently starts them down the path. Now they're fighting for vapors without realizing they're fighting for vapors.
Yep.
2 weeks later, I hand you that Boulder. Put the fucking patch on your back, and we're getting you the fucking membership card and teaching you the handshake. You're in the club, motherfucker.
You're exactly right.
Yeah.
John Carlo actually asked a question, and it's something I wanted to I was going to touch on. The other day, you had a little video, and I agree 100% with you onto this. But why don't you give us a little explanation again of how you feel about people having their own little gangs?
Absolutely. So basically, I'm not really sure what started it. I watched it start to happen the beginning of last year. It really started to take off, where it seems like everybody and their brother can't just be happy. I'm a vapor. You're a vapor. Yeti's a vapor. We're vapors. Right. We're part of a group. We don't smoke anymore. We're ex-smokers. We're part of another group. But that wasn't good enough. They had to start this. Well, we're Yeti, Tommy, and Meter. We're the YMH. We're the crew. We're the Thursday night boys. We're the Thursday night vape boys. If you want to be cool, you got to be a Thursday night vape boy too. If you're not with the Thursday night vape boy, you're not cool anymore. Come on, man.
Yep.
We're grown adults.
Yeah.
You got to be old enough to buy a tobacco product, to buy a vaping product, which means you should be mature enough to know that this high school popularity contest bullshit is only serving to get us separated amongst ourselves.
Exactly.
We're actually fighting against the tobacco lobbyists, the FDA, and everyone else who thinks that everyone who vapes is one of those douchebag cloud chucker public fanboys. We've got enough bullshit to deal with. Why do you separate yourself into a crew or a squad or a club or a gang? Fuck off.
Yep.
We're all vapors. Why do you have to make it anything more than that?
I agree 100%. Because at
Well
the end of the
said.
day, we are all one. And that's, you know what I mean? I mean, and that I look at it exactly the same way as you, man. I see someone out there vaping, and I don't care if it's a new channel. I see you're vaping and I don't even know who you are, I'm going to watch you. And if you show me something that you're really into what you're doing, I don't care how terrible of a reviewer you are. If you're into it, man, I'm going to subscribe to you, because you know what? We're all family. At the end of the day, we're all this. We're number one. And the only way we're going to win this whole thing is being one. And like what Hesh says constantly, and I put it in every one of my videos on Instagram, band together or be banded together. And that is just, and that is so true. 100%.
The thing of it is, you got to look at it like this. We kind of have to get along. I mean, whether you want to or not, we're going to have to find a way to get along, because we're going to be the ones stuck with each other, because we're going to live longer than everybody else still smoking. They're all going to die off. So we're going to have to get along. We're going to be together for another 40, some of us 40 years.
Yep. So true.
God, who made this fucking coil?
Oh, shit. So how many people would you say you've actually helped convert overall?
From smoking.
From smoking, yeah. From smoking cigarettes, too.
Wow, I was about to go into a whole different rant. I know for a fact, because I still vape with them and I still trade liquids and coils and shit with them, that I personally have converted 18 local people.
Nice.
Man.
In the last 2 years. I know.
God, you deserve a medal.
At least 5 different Rock by Boulders through mail to people. And I have probably sent 100 codes from Dirt Cheap E-Juice out to somebody who said, hey, do you have something that I could try? Or I'm running low on juice. Do you have anything you could spare? I'll throw them a code.
Yep.
E-Juice gives me codes all the time. Most people that have seen us on shows before know I generally always have a code in my pocket.
Yep.
Anytime, like most of us vapors do, I get hit up with one of those, I lost everything, I'm hurt between paychecks, whatever message, I'll throw you a code, man. Here's $10.
Yep.
Don't go crazy. You can get free e-liquid with a $10 code if you do it right. It might not be what you want, but it's going to get you through.
Yep. Exactly. And you know what, though? Even bad e-juice, when you're first quitting, I mean, unless it's totally terrible, it's still going to be better than cigarettes.
And yeah, that's one of my favorite things to tell new vapors, people that have just switched over. All I've got is this juice that I don't really like. There's 40 fucking bottles right here.
Yep.
Take any one of them. Take all of them. Don't touch a fucking cigarette.
Right. Absolutely.
Get to a flavor you don't like.
Yeah.
Get to a flavor that you might. Because you pick up a cigarette, you're erasing all that work you did.
Yep.
And you're going to feel like shit afterwards. Anyway, I promise.
Yep.
I'm also going to throw it down.
Yep. At Christmas time, at our Christmas party, I have already converted a bunch of people where we work. Originally, there was 13 people. We're up to 18 employees now. And out of those first 13 people, when I first started there 3 years ago, I've converted 6 of those. Well, at Christmas time, with the new employees that we've got, I handed out another 10 more devices.
Hell yeah.
I've got 4 more that have not touched a cigarette since Christmas. So,
hell yeah.
To me, that's fucking awesome, man. And they thank me. And you know what? Just seeing them vape is enough of a thanks for me, man. I love that part of it. Just to see them. You can see it in their face and everything, man. You can just see they're more happier. They're able to breathe. They're not chained to the cigarette, you know?
Yep. That's people who follow me on Facebook know, but those of you who don't, we had a problem with our furnace the other day. My wife and I just bought this house literally a couple months ago. It's our first house, so we're still going through all that fun new homeowner shit.
Yep.
We woke up the other day, 7 degrees outside, heater wouldn't work. Fuck. Here we go. So luckily for us, the old lady we bought the house from kept meticulous records on everything. So we knew the company that installed the furnace, the company that serviced everything. First thing we did was call them. They said, yeah, no problem. You're good. We'll send a guy out to check on you. You're covered. Turns out, dude that shows up, as he's walking through to go look at the furnace one time, I'm tinkering with a coil here. He, like record skip, stopped in his tracks when he got right in front of me and realized what I was doing. His eyes lit up. He went, I just got to the point where I'm starting to make my own coils.
Awesome.
Nice.
He finished up.
That's cool.
I hand him a bottle of e-liquid because it's 3. He started to tell me he's only been vaping for 3 months. His wife still smokes. He can't get her to switch yet, but he's not going back. But
Nice.
It's hard because all our local shops suck. He can't find good liquid. I hand him some liquid. I hand him a package of miles of wire coils. Here you go, buddy.
Yep.
Try these out. Try this out. Send him a code for dirt cheap. Send him a couple coupon codes. Send him the pink list. Need anything? Holler at me. Here's my info.
Awesome.
That's awesome.
That is fucking awesome, man. Hell yeah.
That is awesome.
I don't want to keep on asking questions. If you want to just bounce anything off of them, I can keep going. But if you're,
yeah, hang on just a second. Go ahead for now. I'm doing something.
all right.
Sorry.
No, I could see that you're into something. But speaking of miles of wire, I see you do a lot of Instagram photos for him and everything. And I believe that he puts those on his website, the pictures that you're taking, right?
Yep. I've got a couple of my pictures that were good enough to grace the face of his website. I've got a good macro lens and some free time every now and again.
Nice. That's awesome, dude. So if you don't know, make sure you go over and follow the Meter on Facebook and on Instagram. He does some real, you got to love the rants, first of all. But he also does some fucking phenomenal pictures too, man. For real. I enjoy it. Every time that I see you pop up on something, man, I have to go check it out right away.
I appreciate it.
Absolutely. Who did Nikki put out there? Snake Eye Vape is where you can get the Boulder at. Absolutely. Thank you, Nikki.
Nice.
So here's kind of a tough one because we all have our favorites, but if you only had one flavor of e-liquid, what would it be for the rest of your life?
Simple. And I'm sure a lot of people might not understand it, but I can make that choice just like that. Never regret it. Strawberry Submission from Adore.
Nice.
It is the benchmark by which I measure other e-liquids. No exaggeration. Dawn was there for me from day one, above and beyond what I ever expected without me ever having to ask, and still is to this day. I will always and infinitely go out of my way to support and do anything I can to help and promote her. That's my go-to.
Yep, absolutely. I'm right with you, man. And Mr. Miles also gave you a nice compliment. He says the meter is the reason that his site looks so nice. So,
Shucks.
That's awesome, dude. That is really awesome. I see we have a few other people out there that I missed at the beginning there. We have TC Vapes. We also have Mr. Miles, like I mentioned. We have Haas out there, Alan Gorby, and we also have let me get that. What's going on there, brother, man? I haven't seen you in a minute. Adam Webb is out there as well also. Thank you, everybody, for showing up again. I really, really appreciate it. We all do.
Sorry.
No, dude, you're all good, man. That's what we're all here for.
Just a second, dogs are going crazy.
All right.
You too, huh?
Well, I took all mine out before the show started, so this way here we were all good. Oh, yeah, so getting to that accident again today, like I showed you with that pictures, I just still can't fathom in the last year and a half, 4 accidents, 2 of them rollovers, and 2 of them where they took out telephone poles, and it's only a 20 mile on a straightaway.
On a straightaway.
It's a 2-mile straightaway, not one curve, not even a slight curve. It's a straightaway all the way through. And it's a 25-mile-an-hour posted speed limit. And this one that happened right in front of the pictures I showed you, that was at the bottom of my driveway. That car was a Ford Taurus.
Yeah.
3 times it rolled over, and it took out a Cooper Mini. Totally. All together.
That's nuts, man. I just knew that was like a drunk driver or something like that.
Oh, yeah. He was on something, that's for sure. I mean, and then he admits, well, I was texting my wife. What are you doing?
What an idiot. Fucking jackass.
You're not getting rid of any of your dogs. He had to step away, Leafa, for a minute. He had to take care of his dog.
Sorry about that. My dog seems to think he is the home security system that doesn't ever need to be turned off.
Yeah.
That's okay, though, man.
I got one that warns us when the wind blows.
We're trying to break him of that habit. He's still pretty good about it, but it's a never-ending struggle.
But you know that one time that, God forbid, if somebody does come in or buy the house and they do it, you're thankful that they do, you know?
But see, it's kind of like the boy that cried wolf, because if your dog barks all the time, well, when the robber comes in your house all the time, so you're not going to get up and go look.
Yeah, absolutely. Because I know there's quite a few times where he'll be going just ballistic ape shit in the other room, and rather than getting up to see, which I 9 times out of 10 will do, it'll just be that one time where I'm done with it, and tell him, shut the fuck up, lay down. And then sure enough, then I see like lights in the windows or something, and now I have to get up, and I'm like, oh, he was legitimately actually telling me something, not just being a spaz. Myself under the shit. That's how it's gonna work.
Where did that fucking thing go?
Ren, today is your birthday. Happy birthday. I just happened to see Hesh out there giving Ren a birthday, so I wanted to wish her one as well also.
Yeah, happy birthday.
So
it's awesome. There's a lot of birthdays.
Yeah, there is a real lot of birthdays in January. Let's just say they made vaping illegal.
I don't want to play this game.
I'm not afraid. Let's play.
Would you still do what you're doing now? And do you make your own DIY? I mean, do you dabble in it a little bit? So you
absolutely. The vast majority of my personal liquids that I make are made from one shots and flavor concentrates, but I do have a small box of single flavors and 3-gallon jugs of VG upstairs.
Nice.
Awesome.
So I do reviews just like everybody else. So I've always got some liquids laying around from somebody, but to make sure should anything happen and my review career end tomorrow and I never get sent another thing, I've always got at least 2 or 3 bottles of concentrates of pretty much the entire Adore line. I keep some vaping swag concentrates. I've got some Omegeddon concentrates. I've got, all the necessities to where if I have to go rogue, they're going to wild before they see my scraggly ass popping up itching looking for flavors.
You mentioned Omegeddon concentrates. Really? Is that a new option? Because I've never had to deal with Omegeddon for his concentrate.
Not always an option, but if you know a guy,
it's
sometimes
who you know.
Yeah.
And I like to keep on of the wardrobe changing too there, man. That's really awesome.
Fresh and clean.
You're trying to do a hesh there. Keep on changing shirts each and every couple of minutes.
I may have seen a guy do that before.
I'm sorry, Tommy. Go ahead.
No, go ahead. No.
Well, I was and forgive me if you guys talked about this when I stepped away, but y'all were talking about some photography that you had done some photos for Miles and his awesome website that I'm still a little jealous of. How did you? Were you into photography like before you got into vaping? Is that like one of your hobbies?
Yeah, it is. A lot of people don't realize I actually have 2 college degrees in graphic design. I've been doing literally everything from photography to photo editing to actual, production of graphics. Everything
Awesome.
down to creating my own fonts and shit. Since I was literally a teenager, just young and stupid. And that's one of the few good things that has stuck with me throughout my growing from a stupid teenager to a stupid adult.
That's cool. That's really cool. Do you, before you got into vaping, were you putting out any other content on YouTube?
Not officially. There was some just like backyard goofy prank,
just silly stuff.
Yeah, that a bunch of buddies of mine and I had done before, and like goofy shit that I had caught people doing, which that's anyone who hangs around me in real life knows. If something stupid happens, I'll get you on video and I'll put you on YouTube. It might not be the way you want it to be, but that's been one of my things since YouTube came out back in 05. Like I've had an account since 05 just for posting goofy videos of my buddies that I caught doing dumb shit. Kind of producing content, but not really content worth anything.
And Mr. Miles says, if you can remember your college days, you definitely did it wrong.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yep, that's
Absolutely.
for sure. So, if you could only have 5 possessions for the rest of your life, what would they be?
It would have to be a vape, a knife, a dog, a pair of good boots, and a collapsible shovel.
Those are all the things that you could actually, those are all very usable things. So that is very cool.
I'm a big function over form kind of guy. I don't really care what shit looks like as long as it works good.
It's true. Mr. Miles, dog isn't an object, no, but it is a great companion and it can help a lot. So definitely, I agree with the dog.
Plus, it's my list to pick anyway. So
that's right. So
that's right. Do you prefer, or do you have a preference to regulated versus like mechs, or does it even matter?
It's not so much a preference as it is just a flavor style for me.
Mm-hmm.
I tend to notice that a lot of the naturally sweeter vapes do better at consistent temperature, where you get that predictable, I guess would be the word, hit. But a lot of the more savory flavors, or more, I guess savory isn't the right word, but more non-traditionally sweet flavors, more obscure flavors, they really do benefit from the arc of a mech style they use. So I do, like I said, I've always got at least one regulated in the rotation, but generally it's for the RDTAs. The stuff that I go like for review almost always goes on a mech, so it gets that full range of the mech life throughout the day.
That's true.
That's well, being a build, what's your preferred?
I didn't catch that. You roboted out on me.
Oh, sorry. I said being a builder. What is your preferred build?
I don't know what I am could be considered a builder. I put coils and RDAs and I spin stuff sometimes, but generally my favorite, my go-to build, as I tend to call it, is usually an alien with a single core or a micro clap in parallel.
Yeah.
Usually right around 0.1, 0.09-ish.
Yeah, that's a good build. What about metal?
Metal, I'm really kind of a metal slut. Obviously, I started out on all Kanthal like most vapors. So Kanthal always holds a special place right above my lung, but not quite in it. But 316 is one of my favorites just for the clarity of flavor you get. But I've also had some really, really nice builds in 430 stainless steel that not a lot of people use. And I've recently had a lot more builds with N80 and N90 mixed in with other wires that I'm really becoming a fan of.
Yeah, I made a kind of an interesting alien today. It was the cores were there was one that was Kanthal 90 and 316. Nice. It was a kind of a goofy vape.
A Three Amigos kind of core.
Yeah.
Nice. I dig it. No, ironically enough, I'm actually, and I'm going to really crank down on this next week because I've had a lot going on in the last week with the furnace and then just catching up with everything vape related. But I am actually in the process that I'm going to grind down on next week, I promise, of putting together kind of a goofy builder showcase for Instagram and YouTube, kind of the opposite of Coil Wars, if you will. We're taking everything they took so seriously and so devotedly in Coil Wars, and I'm throwing that shit out the window. We're going to have fun. We're going to have fun. I got like a dozen builders in on it so far. We're going to do good stuff.
That sounds interesting.
You're more than welcome. You feel like getting froggy, holler at me.
Always. Coil tards.
It kind of is. It kind of is like special builder needs.
So we've asked about the authentics and clones and mechanicals to regulated. Now, do you have a favorite RDA that it's like when you want just a certain, a certain flavor, not necessarily the build, but you have a special RDA that you really enjoy more than other RDAs that you made?
Yes and no. No, in that this VP project or vape free project VP, this thing is quickly stealing my heart. The flexibility that it gives you, plus it's squonkable right out of the gate, it's huge. But my go-to is, and always has been, the Goon.
Fuck yeah.
I can always count. No matter what build I throw in it, no matter what cotton I throw in it, I know what to expect in it.
Yep.
They're authentic. It's consistent and it's reliable. That counts for a lot for me.
Mm-hmm.
But VP, it's putting up strong contention.
Also, I'll argue this forever, but the Goon, because a lot of people bitch and say that it's just cloud addy,
Yeah.
I get some of the best fucking flavor out of the Goon. I do. It's just like the original Twisted Messes, the V1.
Yep.
Everybody said it was shit for flavor. I got some of the best fucking flavor out of the V1.
Right.
It's all about how you build it.
Keep your air just a little shy wide open. Adjust your coils properly. You can turn a good or an old TM into a flavor cloud machine, and people don't seem to realize that.
Well, just ask Roro. You know, she was kind of iffy on the Elite V2, and I built it down in Dallas, and she loves to vape off of it now. It's how you build it. You know, it's there. I mean, I'm not saying that it's rocket science by any means. It's not rocket science, but each RDA, any Addy for that matter, you got to know how to build them. Each one's a little bit different, or a little, you got to finesse it a certain way. But if you know how to build it, you can get a killer vape on just about, and not all, but just about any RDA out there.
It really it's kind of like an art, I think.
Yeah, I agree. And I'm definitely not the what was that thing? The X. What was that fucking thing? Rafael X. That RDA, that thing was fucking doomed. Yep. You can't. There's nothing can get good flavor out of that thing.
That was what I like to refer to as great on paper, bad in practice kind of thing. It really, with that neutral center post, that was at the time it was fucking revolutionary. The potential it could have had, was off the charts. And then you saw they put it together, and you're like, why would you fucking do that? Some people
fucked up the top cap.
For the longest time, the Goon was my number one RDA, and I just want to share that with you.
Absolutely.
But my favorite RDA, Yeti's holding it right up. The Druga. I love the Druga, man. I mean, that to me, it's right next to the Goon. Don't get me wrong, but to me, it's a notch. For me personally, it is a notch above. And I know Mr. Miles, like you said, he doesn't even own a Goon, but you guys are builders and you can make anything taste good. Yes, you are exactly right. But when you have it in a certain device that is made for that coil, it's heaven. It's just heaven.
Find that one setup that works perfectly for you.
Yep.
I have 3 Goons in front of me right now. 4 if you count the RDTA clone thing that I'm
using. And Miles doesn't have what was it you said? Doesn't build on RDAs or whatever. He doesn't own an RDA. All he uses is RTAs, I believe. Yeah. He doesn't even use RDAs.
Yep.
But but like what you were saying, Tommy, he found what works for him, and that's what he likes.
Absolutely. Yep.
There's not a damn thing wrong with it.
Nope, not at all. We're gonna take a page out of Lefa's, and I want to know, pirate or ninja?
That's actually a very tough question, because we have some friends here who every year literally throw a Pirates versus Ninjas themed party, and you have to show up dressed as one or the other in order to hang out, and we pretty strictly enforce the rules. As much as I would like to say that I'm all pirate going after the booty, I end up as a ninja every year.
I love a ninja also. And I love Lefa. Don't get me wrong. I love Lefa, but I'm a ninja from my heart, so. Would you consider yourself a leader or a follower? I know where I think my opinion is for you, but
honestly, it's situational. Hang on, boys, back up. There's always a situation where somebody needs to stand up and somebody needs to take charge. I am not afraid by any stretch of the imagination to be that guy, to stand up and say, no, fuck that. This is how this has to go. Let's go.
Yep.
Now that bites me in the ass almost more than it works out. But on that same coin, I am not afraid in the least bit to see somebody with a good idea and get behind him and encourage people to get behind a good movement.
Yep.
I think it really is a situational kind of thing if you do it right.
Yep. Yeah, I agree.
And I don't know if you can see chat, but Hesh said, fuck you, Meter. We are no longer friends.
Yeah, he can say my brother, so I don't care if he calls me. I love that fucker anyway.
He's the bomb, man. He's an awesome
Yeah.
dude. So who would know you the best? Would it be your wife, your parents, your brother?
That's a pretty tough call. Of the people that could know me, my wife is definitely in the top 3. But there are a few people in the vape community that I literally talk to daily about every fucking thing that I think would be in the top 3 contention. And I think that's a situation where it would fluctuate based on the shit that's happened that particular day and who I'm mad at or not. But it would probably be a tie between Miles, Swag / Dawn, and then my wife.
All right. Do you have a favorite reviewer? And I mean, it don't even have to be one. It could be like a top 5. I mean, when you see a certain person or whatever put up a video, do you automatically, I got to go check it out? Not like a rip tripper type of thing, but you know what I mean?
So realistically, there's 3 people that if I see that they posted a video, as long as I have more than 10 seconds, I'm going to at least start the video and see what was going on. The first one is you. No bullshit, not because I'm here. I've said it on other shows. I'm not afraid to say it. If I see you post a new video, I'll at least turn it on, watch the first part of it, see if it's something that's going to be up my alley and I want to follow up on, or if it's just, okay, cool, give you a thumbs up because you're my brother, and then go back to what I was doing.
Cool.
The second one would be Link. If I said Link, post a video, and if people don't know, go find the Link Vapes. That dude is one of the most entertaining guys out there. If I see him post a video, he's another one. I'll give him at least 20 seconds because normally he's going to get you in that first 20 seconds. You're hooked. The third one, and I'm ashamed to admit it because he drives me fucking insane, is Grim Green. If I see Grim Green post a video, I'm going to watch it. And 9 times out of 10, before he's 2 minutes in, I'm mad at something he said and I'm disagreeing with him. I still watch every fucking one as soon as it's posted.
I hate to say I'm a Grim Green follower, but I find myself every time that he puts one out, whether it be an hour and a half video, a lot of times I'll be like, even at work today, I was listening to his and playing it in the background while I'm sitting and doing my paperwork on my desk and just listening to him going off about things, and
yeah, I'm at a point with Grim Green to where my wife doesn't, not for any malicious reasons, but just because she doesn't vape anymore. She used vaping to get off cigarettes, and that's all she needed it for. She put it away.
Yep.
She's cool with it.
Awesome.
But she doesn't follow any of the YouTube vape stuff that we do. She doesn't know hardly any of the reviewers. She doesn't shows with regularly. That's about it. She knows Grim Green based on the fact that she will see me watching one of the vlogs and go, "Are you arguing with that guy again? You know he can't hear." That's how it goes. Because something in his video will get me going off, and I'll be mini ranting to myself watching his vlog. And she'll call it.
Bob, we're on Yeti's channel, so I can't give you a wrench on this channel.
But I can. Where's he at?
He's out there, Bob Buckland. He's got the sunglasses going on there. He says, "Tommy, where's my wrench?"
There you go, Bob. Wrench away, man. Wrench away.
Yeah. Hell yeah.
Bring that motherfucker. Go ahead, Tommy.
I was just going to reiterate what Scott DeCesare said out there. He said, "How about the review he gave for the drop? That review got him so pissed off."
I was wondering if you have any interest outside of vaping and photography. Any other hobbies or things like that?
Two really. The main one is licking my hand over here because he wants attention and he's mad he's not getting it. I am a
wait. You like to lick your hand?
No. I have no control whether he likes it or not. He's gonna do it. No, as you might be able to tell by the little one laying behind me sleeping, I'm a dog guy. I got one sleeping behind me and one sitting in front of me over here. I aside from playing with the mongrels that I have, my wife and I work to help foster and rehome dogs as much as we can and advocate for pit bulls and pit bull rescue.
Awesome.
That's so awesome. You know, I got to give you credit. I got to say this. I'm sorry for pausing the show, but people that do that have a special place in my heart because I would love, absolutely love to be able to do that. We checked into it. And in fact, that's where we got Tucker, our male dog.
Nice.
But I couldn't do it because I want to keep them. You know, it's like nobody can give them a better home than I can.
Yep.
You know what I mean? But that's not practical. And it's not fair to the dog because you're going to end up with 15 fucking dogs. You know?
Yeah. We at one point we had 6. I understand.
Yeah. So, I mean, people that have that ability to find a good home and, you know, vet the people that they're going to, those people deserve, those people are special people to me, you know, so I appreciate that because I'm a huge fucking animal advocate and fan of animals of all kinds. I'm sure most people know that.
Yep.
So I appreciate that. Sorry.
All good.
I'm good with that too. I mean, my wife will tell you the same thing. I mean, many family members. I said, if I ever hit the lottery, I'm gonna have just a rescue just for pits. I love pits. They have a special place in my heart. I mean, we have our other dogs, but I've owned in my whole life. I've had 6 different pits that, you know, when one passes, I wait a couple of years and I'll get another one. But they always have a place in my heart.
Yeah,
they're the most misunderstood animal out there. I've had, when we bought this house here, my first year here, we had a tree came down on top of the gazebo that we had built in the yard. The insurance adjuster drove up to the top of the yard, saw my dog, never got out of the car, backed out. I got a letter in the mail saying that we had to get rid of my dog or get a new insurance company. I went and got a new insurance company. I pay an extra $600 a year just to have my pit because I am not.
I'd have done it too.
Yep.
I would have too. I'd been like, fuck you.
Yep. In a heartbeat. No questions. Try and tell me I can't. Good luck with that.
Yep.
Fuck that. Some of the best dogs I've ever known were pits.
Yep. They are the most, they are, you know, I mean, dogs are very much onto their owners, but pits have they go above and beyond that. They want to satisfy their owner to end.
Well, and it feels like with pits, it's more than a natural dog wants to satisfy owner thing. They seem to, more than any other breed, at least in my experience, they seem to understand their companion role better. They literally will adapt to their position in your life.
Yep.
And comply and adapt with it and stay fluid.
Yep.
I've literally had dozens of dogs.
Yep.
And more than half of the dogs I've had in my life have either been full pit or at least part pit.
Yep.
Because of the way those dogs work mentally.
Yep.
Yeah.
I've never had another dog ever be like that. And it's one of the reasons I'm so vocal of advocacy about them.
Yep.
That's awesome. Whoops.
Yeah, I mean, I even my vet is actually giving me a breaker bar just in case, you know. I mean, because like if you give him a soccer ball, I mean, it's gone in 2.4 seconds. It's
yeah.
You know? But you know, when I take him to, you know, when we take him, because I will walk him into the, you know, when we will take him for a walk or whatever, I carry it's an actual breaker bar that you can put into their jaw if anything ever happened. I do it as a security blanket. Just for people that come up around, and if they, you know, it's a pit right away, they automatically get, you know, all nervous and everything.
Yeah.
Don't worry about it. I mean, he is on every command. He will. I can do a lot of things without even saying a word, just by hand motions. He knows exactly what to do.
Same with both of them.
Yep.
And what Lemmy said is absolutely true.
2 days ago, literally, this was a brand new 2-inch mooring line. He destroys all of the things.
Yep.
I understand very, very well how that goes. And he's eyeballing the shred I just had. He's like, oh, is that part of that rope? No, it's gone, buddy. You're good.
Sorry, Vape Riot, man. Yeah, it was on Yeti's channel tonight. At least you found it. Thank you for coming by, man. And I did get your message, and me and Yeti are working on something. We definitely want to bring you back on a Thursday night, but we got a little something going on with that. So, but definitely, you're coming back out here, brother.
Hang on, I gotta bust his balls real quick. Yeah, Vape Riot, if you followed me on Instagram, you would have seen the post that it's on my channel. Sorry. Love you, Rye.
And how did you Fresh do it like that? A mini heart?
Yeah, mini heart.
Yeah.
I don't do it as well as him.
No, my hands are just way too big. They kind of look like just a monstrosity. So, oh shit. Who's Stan? Oh, I see.
Stan,
Bob.
you know who Stan is.
Well, I just didn't see him in the chat there. I just see Bob saying hi, hey Stan. So I didn't see him out there. Well, I know Stan, but you know that's not even his real name.
Yeah.
His real name is.
Don't say it.
Okay, yeah, I won't say it. Never mind.
Yeah, I don't think he wants it known.
Well, actually, he did say it on one of his shows.
Oh, did he? Oh,
Yes,
well.
I did hear him say it on one of his live shows a couple weeks ago when he had Thesis on. They were talking about it.
Okay.
But I just didn't know. I won't say his name. I mean, that's his that's up to him. But yeah, and the reason why though is because he hung with a group of people that had the same names as him. So that's where that name came from. That's why he ended up with Stan being called Stan throughout because of what his actual name is. So anyways, let's getting back to this here. What is your favorite brand of cotton that you use?
So I'm one of the rare few that I see that is kind of, I guess it's kind of dinosaur status is the best way I can relate to it. I had my issues with the fucking rabbit bullshit. I've done cotton bacon. I've done kendo. I've done, you name it. I've tried the Quick Wicks. I've tried Texas Tough. I've tried all of it. And no matter what I get sent, no matter what I try, I always end up going back to good old-fashioned square Muji pads. I can take
Can't go wrong.
one of those thick fucking Muji pads and cut that bitch into a thumb-wide strip and fill any coil I need to, whether I got to mash it down or leave it fluffy.
Yep.
No bullshit. There's no mystery. It's a Muji cotton square.
Yep. I hear a lot of you guys, and I mean, I've tried the Muji. I've tried all different. I'm not a fan of the squares personally. I like the rope style cotton, whether it be cotton bacon, whether it be kendo, kendo, the original kendo was good. The gold that they come out with now, I'm not a fan of. I mean, I got a review coming up onto it. I don't really want to spoil it, but I'm really not a fan of the gold in general. But even the Angora Rabbit, I got lots of that still. I give out a lot of it. I mean, I was sent a lot of it. But but Yeti, don't you have that coming onto your website as well soon?
Yep. Very soon.
Very cool.
Absolutely. Yep. Try to unload some of this stuff.
I mean,
I like it. I use it. I mean,
I use it too. I mean, personally, I use it. I like it as I just wish it didn't have that rabbit on there. That's the only thing that really kills it for me.
Yeah, I agree. But I mean, I personally, I can't knock a product just because of its branding if it's a good enough product. You know what I mean? And I agree. I'm not fond of it either. I do not like the rabbit, but it's still good enough for me. You know, I use it. And I agree also with Meter, though. Muji pads are hard to fucking beat. I mean, you know, because in all my boxes, you know, that I ship Yeti wire out in, I always put a pad in there just so that the coils don't rattle around, you know, so much. And that was the only reason why I started doing that, because I've got pounds of that shit. That's the only reason why I started doing that. Well, it kind of became a thing because I started getting people, like, honestly getting requests just saying, you know, what kind of cotton is that? And at first they were like, is this vapable cotton or is it just, the stuff that comes in the box? I'm like, no, that's not the stuff that comes in the box. I'm like, it's just regular Muji squares. And they're like, no kidding. I'm like, yeah, it's the same shit that you can, it's Muji, just Muji, because some people were saying that it's amazing cotton. I'm like, it's just Muji squares. It's nothing special about it.
And I've talked to so many builders, and so many builders have that same thing. They love the Muji squares, man.
Yeah.
It's so crazy.
Well, I'm sorry.
No, I was just going to say what Vaporize said. He said he watched a UFC fight with Meter through a battery case. True story.
Well, maybe a little. I think it was one row bigger than this one, but yeah, that's a good week.
So go ahead, Eddie.
I try to tell people, man, keep an eye on my Instagram. Weird shit happens sometimes.
No, I was just going to say with the Muji, I mean, like I know exactly how much is to snip off right there, and you snip just that amount off. Once you peel off, if you peel off the layers, I always peel the layers off. Yep. You got enough for 2 coils right there. Boom, you're good. I mean, there's no measuring, no getting one thicker than the other. I mean, they're exact every time. I love Muji.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, I've tried all different the Muji. I've tried a bunch of. I mean, I even got some that were sent to me from. Actually, I got an extra can. I might end up sending to you. It's just a can of squares, but it's in a tin now. I don't remember. I think it was. I don't remember who it was, but it's. You'll end up with that eventually. Because I just won't use it. It's not my. I don't like squares for whatever reason. I look at it.
Right.
I'm not interested in it. I just move it away.
Yeah.
Have you had anybody inspire you along your journey more than? No, he's not wearing a Tommy Vapor shirt, buddy. Yeti, what shirt you wearing?
Bigfoot, Oklahoma.
Hell yeah. So who's inspired you the most along your journey to keep you straight? Yourself, a family member,
Puppies.
Clarify, keeping you straight.
No, along your journey of vaping. And
gotcha. Okay, I want to be honestly, it's been myself, and I don't want to be one of those. I try not to be one of those toot my own horn guys. It doesn't work so much most of the time, but I try. But I've been telling people for so long. It's kind of a catch-22. I've been telling people for so long that I hate smoking while I was smoking. That when I was in high school, they used to do this thing called your prophecy. It was basically, a bunch of the student council kids would get together and make your prediction about what your future was going to be. I've been such an asshole smoker for so long. My high school prophecy was that I was going to discover an ever-burning cigarette. And then I found vaping.
Yep. Who would have known that?
Right? One of those things, like, I've smoked for so long. I started smoking when I was 9 years old.
Me too.
Full time. Like, I would smoke a cigarette every now and then at 9. At 11, I was full on pack a day.
Yep.
So I smoked for so long that I used to tell people how much I hated it while I was smoking. So once I found vaping, the right style, I guess, would be of vaping to keep me away from the stinkies. It's just been one of those personal mental reminders, like, you fucking hated cigarettes for so long. Why would you want to go back to that?
Yep.
Try a different, try a different coil. Try a different cotton, which is one of the reasons I always have multiple setups going. I'd rather vape 4 things I hate than smoke a cigarette.
I agree 100%. And I'm right with you onto that with being your own inspiration, because I tried to quit so many different times with so many different techniques, whether it be, you know, the patch or the gum or all the, I mean, and Chantix. Like, and I tell everybody, I almost jumped out that fucking window from being on Chantix.
Yeah.
And that was my reminder. That's where the lights went off. And when I got my first blue cigarette, and I still have that the little EDC or whatever that was, the charging kit.
Well,
I still have that, and I'll always keep it because that was the start of my journey. Even though I dual used for 6 months on doing that, that was my start, and I knew that wasn't the answer, but I knew that was the right path. You know, and where every other thing else made me want to go back to smoking twice as much as I was, where when I started that, even with the blue, it still told me this is the right way to go. And then I jumped into the ego and then into the pro tanks and blah, you know, that story goes along, but still that blue is still my starting point. And I've been, just because I know that it worked, it's been my support system for me. So I agree with you onto that.
Oh, yeah.
What brand did you say you smoked?
Camel Menthol Wides.
Wow.
Menthol Wides? Wow.
3 packs a day at Camel Menthol Wides.
Damn.
God damn.
I was a chimney. I don't understand how women ever put up with me in retrospect.
How the hell did you afford 3 packs a day? Shit.
Always working.
Well, I can't say I got that bad for a little while. I was smoking. Actually, I was burning them up more than I was smoking them, but I got that bad for a couple of years, but then went back to 2.
I went into a little, what are they called? The little general store, the convenience stores. So I went to get some lottery
general store. Really dating yourself now, Tommy.
Can you tell I don't really get out that much? So.
The 5 and dime.
But last week when the Powerball was like 500 million or something like that, I went into there and to go get some, and I looked, Marlboros, 11.72 a pack.
God,
I'm like, motherfucker, I used to smoke 2.5 packs of those a day. Holy shit. I'd have to get a loan just to fucking do that now.
Yep.
Fuck.
Wow.
Man, it's fucking insane.
It is. Now, out where in your area, Meter, I know somewhere out in the Midwest, they're doing it in some of the states that they're actually segregating cigarettes from vaping. Is that anywhere near you as well?
Yep. I'm in Missouri. We were the first state in the country to legally separate tobacco from vaping. But they did it like shit. I'm not happy about it at all.
Oh.
Literally, it was a maneuver to throw state tax on it because the legislature specifically classifies vaping as using nicotine. It doesn't say anything about combustion, doesn't say anything about vaping. It says specifically in the legislature, nicotine.
Right.
Like, could you not consult one vapor?
What if you vape 0?
That's all I vape.
Right.
All I vape is, granted, I'm going to go back into low nicotines for review purposes every now and again, but I vape 0. Mm-hmm. So am I not vaping? What the hell am I legally classified as doing now?
Right.
Does that mean I don't have to pay any taxes anymore? I don't touch nicotine.
In all reality, that's what it should be. If you're not using nicotine or what they like to call a tobacco product, which, again, you don't need tobacco for nicotine.
Exactly.
But in retrospect, though, to extract the nicotine from like tomatoes, potatoes, eggplant, that is going to be a different entity altogether because that's going to be very expensive to do. It can be done, but it's still. So, I mean, I can see where, but you don't need tobacco for nicotine. So it should not be joined together as one for that reason.
I agree. It's one of those, damn it, oh boy situations. Like, oh boy, and the fact that we've got it on the books now, it's passed unanimously. It's going to be printed. Damn it, in that It's poorly worded. And I think realistically, the reason that they did it is I've been watching for the last couple of years, literally every summer, they're pushing a new tobacco tax. They're pushing a new tobacco tax. And this last November, they had another one on the ballot, and they rallied downtown out in front of the courthouse. Non-smokers were rallying to get this tobacco tax taken off the ballot. Like non-smokers took to the streets to tell them to stop taxing tobacco here. And then literally 5 months later, unanimous legislation passes to separate tobacco from vaping with poor wording.
Yep.
It's very meh. It's like the cute girl at the family reunion. You want to look, but you're pretty sure it's going to end up badly.
Exactly. Other than death, and it might not even be your biggest fear, but what is your biggest fear?
Not being remembered. It's one of those things, and I think it's what, as a young kid, drove me to really turn into that class clown and loudmouth that I ended up being as an adult. I was always away from everybody else. Like, I moved from Chicago when I was real young to the middle of fucking nowhere in Missouri. I never really had a lot of people hanging out. So when there was people hanging out, I always had to turn on and make sure that I had the attention. And it's one of those things that's always kind of stuck with me, that you have to make an impact. You don't always have to be loud and obnoxious about it, I've learned. But it's always better to make an impact than not, in my opinion.
Yep, I agree. You got to leave your mark there somewhere, and and to be remembered. That's deep, dude, but that's so true. That's
now, granted, the thing they remember me by might end up being a big skid mark, but you're going to remember me for something.
Exactly. And that I like I said, I can so relate to that every 100%, man. Hey, Auntie, what's going on there, Mama?
Oops. Sorry.
No, go ahead, man. It's all good.
Fuck, I had a question. I got thrown off. Damn it, it was a good philosophical one, too, and I forgot it. Son of a bitch. Pass.
Okay. Well, you're a male vape model anyways. Do you think that helps the industry?
I think it helps the industry more than female vape models do. And that's not to be any kind of a sexist asshole, which I can go on to a whole nother section of doing. That's literally just from a point of view of a consumer.
Yep.
And what I mean by that is that I, like most people, have Instagram, I have Facebook, I have social media. If you go to 9 out of 10 vape companies' pages, whether they're an atomizer company, they're a mod company, or God forbid, a juice company, e-liquid company, the vast majority, most companies fill their social media with some half-naked babe holding their product, looking away, nonchalantly holding it like a penis, putting it between their tits.
Mm-hmm.
I have the internet. If I'm seeing that, if I want porn, I'm not going to do a search for vape porn.
Right.
I'm going to look for regular porn because that's what I want. If I'm looking for vape stuff, I want to see vape stuff.
Yep.
Yeah.
And that girl holding it out, trying to look cute with it, doesn't tell me how it works or how it tastes, or if your nick is bitter after it's been sitting in your cabinet for a week.
And I thought you were going to say clit. I really did dig when you said that.
Tip of the tongue.
He usually is.
How it starts.
But even that right there, where you just touched on, was half of those bottles that they show, they're not even open. The seal's not even busted onto it.
Yep.
But
Yep.
And I believe it was Ready to Mosh that actually brought that point up when we first started this whole ball rolling.
Yeah,
you'd see these women and the bottles weren't even open, and yet you're out there showing them, tucking them in your boobs and everything. And
yep. It's the way I see it is if I can see your ad with some girl holding that, it means I already have internet access. And if I already have internet access and I want to see titties, I can go see titties, and I won't have to worry about your bottle being in the way of the good stuff.
Exactly. And to me, and I forget who it was. It might have been Nikki, but what are you hiding that you have to have a pretty bottle and I mean something pretty to hold your whatever your product may be.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah, it must be it's not memorable enough on its own, so they gotta have some TNA by.
Yep.
Yes, Nikki, you're exactly right. It was you. Thank you. See, I don't forget. Sometimes I do. It all depends on what I was doing before the show, but
I'm kind of curious. Where do you personally see vaping? Like, let's say in the next 2 years.
Realistically, and I hate to keep going back to it, but I think that's going to be another split answer. I think that's going to depend a lot on how vocal vapors are going to be publicly in 2018. Because anybody who's paid attention, even to just regular news, saw how many fucking flavor bans and how many small incremental tax bumps got nonchalantly slid under the radar in 2017.
Yeah.
San Francisco snuck right up under everybody's nose. New Jersey snuck up on everybody. We can't let that happen in 2018. With the current administration, which the current administration that we're working with is not going to be on our side, despite what they may have said. They might try to dismantle some of the FDA's power, but we have no allies in office right now. We're fighting for our own. Yep. And the few that we have fighting on our side with us aren't major majority players. So we have to do the footwork. As vapors, we have to be the ground soldiers. We need people like Christine, the very vocal vapor, Beauty in the Vape. We need people like Jen Berger Coleman, who's physically carrying those letters. We need people as vocal as they can. We're going to get steamrolled. We're the minority.
Mama's home. I could tell by the way that he jumped off like that. I knew Mama was coming home. I forget who brought it up, but I mean, I know it's been on the internet where out in San Francisco, they're actually making video commercials with kids vaping.
Really?
Yeah. That was a Vaping 360 article that got posted today. They actually had an open casting call for children who would smoke or vape in propaganda videos that they were planning to shoot. They had open casting.
That's bullshit.
And that, again, though, but it's propaganda they're trying to paint a picture that's really not there.
Well, and the worst part about that is that propaganda video that they're trying to make, those children they're trying to pay to make look like they're smoking or they're vaping to try and discourage everyone else. That shit's being paid for by the money they're making from taxes on tobacco.
Absolutely.
Smoking cessation that they're spending your fucking tax dollars on.
That should be so fucking illegal, man.
Yep. And in a few weeks, we'll be able to touch on a little bit more of that because I do have Stefan coming on for a Thursday night show. So he's going to be coming on, and we can touch on that a little bit more.
Yeah.
So he'll be able to fill us in onto that because he's out there right now doing that footwork. So.
Yep. Now that's so fucking crooked, man.
Yep. But that's just the way they love to paint that picture, and it's not a good thing.
Well, why? What's gone wrong in your life so bad that you fucking hate vaping so much? I mean, why? Why does this bother somebody so fucking much? Well, that they're willing to do that. Well, that is morally wrong.
It is morally wrong, but if you look at the, like I had posted on Instagram and on Facebook, but again, this is something that we've all talked about before. Big government needs it for the tax dollars. Pharma needs it for to keep it so they can keep people sick, so they keep on getting their funding. So the more people that smoke, more people that are unhealthy, they keep on getting their funding. Big tobacco needs it for their profits for what they are doing. But again, it's all three of them are all sleeping together.
Yeah.
So they need sick. They need people to smoke. They don't want healthy people because healthy people live longer. And that's where the whole bottom line is. That's where it all falls onto is so they're going to do whatever they can to make sure that they paint a picture that makes it look like it's harm reduction for the children. But they don't really want that. They want people to die. They want people to be sick because that's what keeps them putting money into their pocket and fuck everybody else.
Yeah. Well, yeah, because if you're sick, you know, there's the insurance's money, you know. I mean, I know how it works. It's just
once you get those vapors, you know, you start the vape and then you're doing the marijuana. And once you're on the marijuana, then you're murdering people and, you know, you're raping women and you're stealing children and you're selling the cocaine and, you know, propaganda paid for by tax dollars.
Yes.
Yeah. Burning down churches and everything.
Right. That's how it starts.
Yep. And I don't think I've ever met one pot smoker, just a pot smoker that's ever robbed anybody, first of all. And they might have raped your refrigerator, but they've never robbed you for something. You know what I mean?
Oh, God.
That's right.
I just don't fucking get people, man.
I know you probably going to want to go join your wife there also. So we'll ask you just a few more and then we'll
catch you loose.
Yeah. If you had a warning label for everybody to see as you're walking down the street, you know, and what would it say?
Objects in mirror appear larger than real life.
I like that.
What if I'm sorry.
No, I was just gonna have a smart ass remark to
that. Well, let's hear it. Shit.
I was gonna say my wife would so agree with you onto that. Look, honey, look.
Right.
What if the theme music every time you walked into a room, what would that music be?
Ooh. That's a tougher question.
Every time I hear that, I always think of the Peter Griffin, the one from Family Guy, where he had some fucking like carnival music going on. But every time I think of that question, I always fall back to that one show where he had his own theme music, and every time he'd walk into a room, it would just start playing.
See, I instantly snapped to either one of two songs. It would always either have to be the Imperial March from Star Wars. Just because when that song starts, I don't care who you are, I don't care how old you are, I don't care where in the world you are. When that song starts, you know shit's about to go down.
Yeah.
Or the other one would be from the original 1985 Super Mario Brothers, level 1.2, the original Underground. Do-do-do-do-do-do. Either one would be acceptable. No, he didn't, Lefa.
You know he didn't. So are you related to anybody famous? Distantly or anything? No?
Not in the least bit.
Did you go to school with anybody famous and maybe possibly beat him up? Like Blake Shelton or anything like that?
No.
No?
No. About the closest I've come to that, I saw Brad Pitt's brother one time.
Well, that's cool. I mean, just being brushed up to somebody close like that, you know what I mean? So
I went to school with Jeremy Shockey also.
Really?
Yeah. Yeah, but I didn't beat him up.
No. Yeah, that one I wouldn't have beat him up either.
Yeah, I think he was a year or two ahead of me, if I'm not mistaken.
I would imagine he was probably a pretty big boy even then. So
yeah, he was. He was one of them corn-fed Ada boys.
Yep. I already asked you that question. I have a whole array of different questions here, so I just sometimes I forget which ones I've asked. What is your opinion if you were to saw a kid, and I've asked this question, and I love this question because, and I believe it was I forget who asked me this question, but if you saw a kid that was smoking and then he switched over to vaping, would you?
It was me.
It was you. And would you scold them or applaud them for switching over? And I'm saying 15, 16-year-old.
That depends. At 15, 16, when they're vaping now, are they genuinely and contently vaping to stay off cigarettes? Or are they vaping because they're allowed to vape since they're not smoking anymore?
And I noticed that even with a lot of people in general, a lot of them, they vape just because it's a thing that's just to do.
Because I know of a few people who have children, teenagers, not children, I should say, but teenagers that they will let vape because those teenagers are not smoking cigarettes.
Right.
Yep.
I understand that whole if you do it under my roof and I can keep an eye on you mentality. But at the same time, I got my ass beat every time I got caught smoking. And I was smoking my parents' cigarettes half the time, so I don't know how the hell they even knew that I was smoking because I was stealing them from them when they weren't looking. Smoking the same cigarettes, there's no way it smelled different. I still got my ass beat when I was growing up when I got caught smoking. I understand that that's a tradition that's kind of fallen out of common practice, but at the same time, if your kid, which nowadays it's actually illegal most of the time, if your kid gets caught with cigarettes, they fine you.
Yep.
At least every day. So there's a difference between back when we were growing up, and if you got caught with a pack of cigarettes, worst thing that would happen most of the time, somebody would take them away, smack you in the back of the fucking head, send you down the road. Nowadays, that's a crime, and that goes on the parent record. There's a difference between letting your kid do something stupid that's going to get him, sent on down the road with a warning, and you ending up with a permanent record because you're letting your kid do something that's illegal because you can't put your foot down.
Right.
Like, you got to weigh that teeter-totter.
Yep. No, and I agree with you. I mean, everybody's heard what I've done for mine, but that's only because, and it's worked. You know what I mean? She's living here, so it's working. But that's not the norm either. So, but yes, I agree 100% with you. Keep beating kids. You made them. That's right. You made them, you slay them. Absolutely. I'm right with you, man.
My whole life, I brought you into this world and I'll take you out of it.
Hell yeah. I'm number 18 of my brothers and sisters. I know an ass beating, so.
I grew up with a mom that was this big and that big around, and she scared grown 350-pound fucking men. I knew what was good.
Yeah, I remember the people in my family making their kids smoke cigars. And I mean, literally making them smoke and inhale that fucker all the way down till they turn green. So,
yeah, that'd be child abuse nowadays if you tried some shit like that, probably.
Yeah. Yeah, I remember it. That's another fun thing about child abuse, man. Growing up, if your parent hit you like they do now, they'd be like, I'm going to call 911. My mother or father would be like, here's the phone. Before you can even grab it, they hit you with that motherfucker. Here, now call, motherfucker.
Go ahead, reach for the phone, because I'll beat you with it. Yep. Before I can beat you with it, you can call him. I'll let you.
Have you beat bloody before you get to it?
Yep.
I try it.
No fucking way. All right. You have any questions that you would like to ask me and Yeti?
Number one all-time dead or alive guest you want on a No Fucks Vaping episode for each of you?
Mine, I would love to spend 2 hours with is Jimmy Carter. And only because even though he is our ex-president, even after he left office, he still did a lot for this country and put back into this country, not just going off and collecting a fucking paycheck like a lot of them do. And I mean, the guy just had wisdom throughout his whole body. I could just sit there and just listen to him. I mean, and everything that he stood for, he did it not just as the president, but he did it after being the president as well. Also,
Yeah.
Absolutely.
I'd want to know about his UFO experience.
Yep, that would be cool. That would be awesome to know that. But yeah, that would be the person I would love to spend at least 2 hours. I mean, I could probably spend days with him, but at least 2 hours would be freaking phenomenal.
I just want to ask him about that secret garden in the back of the White House that they planted for JFK for him to treat Madison's with. That was documented then redacted, and the internet never forgets.
Yep.
Yeah. Man, for no fuck's sake, man, I don't know. That's I don't know. I guess I'd have to say Nick Devine. I mean, just to get him, on here and open him up, in the no fucks vaping kind of way. But I mean, he's pretty much an open book, if you watch, any of his stuff. But yeah, probably in Devine.
Nice.
And he will be coming soon.
Yep.
Giggity.
God damn it. Walked right into that one, Tommy. All right.
Shit. Hold on.
The
wife was texting me there for a minute, so I kind of lost where I was.
Lunchtime.
Almost. She's just letting me know. You have anything else there, Yeti?
Of course not. My
right.
questions didn't come up. Something's going on. No.
That's weird.
Something's going on. I don't know what's going on.
And do you have anything else that you'd like to interject there, Meter?
I think that I would just like to say, get off your butts and vape.
I like that. I like that a lot.
It's one of those things that I don't get to say a lot, and I just wanted to say it real quick.
Yeah, one of the best catchphrases in vaping.
Absolutely.
It really is.
If not the best catchphrase.
I agree. It's right up there. It's not the best.
That's for sure, man. Gizzard, he nailed that one for sure, man. I mean, and everybody across this whole our whole community could really use that word, that term every day, and it would benefit. They would feel good after they said it too.
Yeah,
I smile every time after I say that. I truly do.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, hell yeah, there, Lemmy. My brother had a whole bunch of all those different beer cans like that. And I mean, he literally had a whole wall of different types, and he had a bunch of that Billy beer, actually.
Yeah, they didn't make it. They only made it like 2 years, didn't they?
Yep.
Yeah.
So, how about you there, Yeti? You have anything else that you'd like to interject?
No. I don't have any. I'm brain dead tonight. I'm fresh out of ideas, thoughts, and original thoughts and ideas, I guess.
Why don't you get ready and bring up your things to get ready to shut that off, and then after I do a little saying there, we'll stop the stream.
Fucking A.
I want to thank everybody. I want to thank you, Meter, and I want to correct that. I keep on saying Meter, but really we need to address him as the Meter, because that really is, just like his shirt says, the Meter Vapes. So we, and a lot of people, they kind of short term that, but it is really, when we address him, I'm bad at it myself, but the Meter Vapes is actually the proper way of saying it. So a lot of people, I just want to clarify that.
I appreciate it.
And I want to thank each and every one of everybody that showed up tonight. You guys taking the time out of your life to spend with us. I mean, from the bottom of my heart, that is just touching in itself, that you guys want to spend time with us. That is just totally awesome. Words don't explain that. I again thank everybody. Make sure you come over tomorrow night. If you're available tomorrow night, why don't you come on over? Yeah. All right, cool. I think I have a special guest that used to be on yours, but he's under another company. He's might be stopping by as well also, so that would be cool to get caught up onto that.
I don't know who you
Nice.
may be talking about, but I'd definitely be interested to be a part of that if there's an opening.
Hell yeah. I'll definitely send you the link.
Absolutely.
So with that being said, why don't we grab a vape?
I don't have any.
Yes, fucking
Fresh out.
All right. Remember, everyone, in the words of Gizzard, be kind to someone.
if you can.
If you can. And if you can't, just make your best effort to be. That's all you can do. Remember, again, educate, advocate, masturbate, ejaculate. Love you all. Bye.
Love you all.